Hi there. Ooh, I got a nice little, it's windy out and there's some static, as you can tell. So, my name is Johnny Daniel. I am your Stampin' Up! Independent Demonstrator. It is Wednesday at 7 o'clock, maybe 7:01. We'll see. And we have 3 cards tonight and a bonus. So I better get going, huh? So, the theme for tonight. Ready? Okay. So, start singing with me. Somewhere over the rainbow. That's all as far as I'm going to go. I'm not the musician in the house. So, keep that song in your head as I flip you around. And we're going to get ready. Hey, Iris. We're going to get ready for St. Patrick's Day. Hey, Lise. How are you? Hold on just a sec. I'm going to flip you around. So, I had to be funny. All right? Are we ready? If you can sing with me the rainbow song. Roy G. Biv. So, red, orange, pumpkin pie, bluebirds fly. Yes. Yellow. So, crushed curry. Green. Garden green. Blue, Pacific Point, indigo. Now, I wasn't sure about indigo, so I got Seaside Spray, but I wasn't sure. And then violet. For all the colors of the rainbow, Highland Heather, right? So there's our rainbow. And at the end of the rainbow is supposed to be a pot of gold, but all I caught, hey, Serene. So here's the rainbow. Roy G. Biv, right? So here's the rainbow, and all I caught at the end of the rainbow was not a pot of gold, but instead, my leprechaun left his overalls. So that's our bonus for tonight. That's what we're going to be creating. Too funny, right? So we're going to be creating 3 cards tonight with everyday textures, and meaning stuff you find around the house, and then we're gonna be doing this bonus project. So I better get going, huh? Let's skip off to the rest of the rainbow and get going. Hold on. One second. Almost there. Magic! It's not quite as lined up as it was I just finished our team live that we do once a month. But hey, it's okay. Alrighty, so did you like my over the rainbow? Alright. I'm done now. Alright, so for tonight, let's see. If you comment tonight, or on the replay, or on the YouTube video by Friday the 12th, you will get the instructions for all the cards shown and the bonus project emailed to you. If you order $50 or more in product with the host code below, www.stampinup.com, let's just say the host code, QGJVCUSK, as in Charlie, U, S as in Sam, and K. So that host code, which is also listed in the caption, is what you need to do to be able to get all the materials ready to go for this. Okay? So let's see here. Let me pull up. Hold on. Get my comments up and everything ready to go. Let's see if I missed anybody. Hey, Iris. Again, how are you? Let's see. So who's still singing the song? I have a question. Hey, Barb. How are you? Hey, Cheryl. How are you? Who's still singing the Somewhere Over the Rainbow song? Anybody? So for tonight, let's get going, shall we? So, I am going to create 3 cards, And I'm going to show you how to, now this one you can barely see, so we're going to do a little bit darker, but hey, this is with bubble wrap. This is with a straw. Now, I didn't particularly care for this one, but maybe somebody else will. I don't know. And then this one, last but not least, is done with a rubber band. Yes, really. Whole bunch of them. So we're going to get going on that because we got to have time to make this cute little set of overalls. So, alrighty. So here we go. Off to the races, right? Okay. So the words "You are amazing" come out of the stamp set In Bloom. This is in the mini catalog, which is up until September. Let me slow down. June 30th. June 30th is when the mini is good until, okay? And this is in there, and this has the dies that had the whole bunch of flowers and leaves and then the really cute ribbon. I just found this and I haven't used it yet. So guess what? We're going to break it in tonight, okay? So you are amazing. So that's what we're doing tonight. Yay. And we'll get going, right? So 3 cards. Yes. Okay. Off to the races. Let's go. All right. So for tonight, I do not have the envelopes out, okay? But I have a normal bendy straw. That's it, okay? I have block C with a whole bunch of rubber bands tied onto it. And then I have a piece of bubble wrap cut to about a little bit bigger than the size of a card front, okay? So, let's see here. I have 3 card bases. This is basic white. Yes, I am flipped over to that now. I've made enough cards now to exhaust my stock. So this is the basic thick white. It feels about the same as the other one. Maybe, no, because it wasn't as smooth as the regular whisper white or basic white. So, so it's about the same, maybe a touch bit thinner, but not enough to make me go crazy or do anything. So these, all 3 bases are the exact same. They're cut at 4 1/4 by 11 and scored at 5 1/2. Okay. And let's bend, shall we? And I've got a couple scraps of white. I've got, okay. I've got some outer mats and some inner mats. And these were just scraps laying around. So, you know, do what you gotta do, huh? So I am grabbing my Stampin' Seal and I'm grabbing and putting my outer mats onto all my card bases so they don't get lost. You never know. So, all right. And I am, so you noticed I flipped it over. Here's the reason why. I know that there's a natural curve to the paper cardstock, and I wanted to not have to fight the cardstock, okay? So, I don't know if you can tell, but there's actually a natural way that the paper curves up and down. So I'm just going by that. All right, so let's see here. So this is gray granite, I believe. And then I've got gorgeous grape for the other one. So we're gonna put those to the side there. And I'm gonna grab my 3, okay? Ready, ready, ready? Okay. So my 3, we're gonna start with the messy one. And this is actually my, can you guess? my least favorite, believe it or not. So on the table, just because it's the least able for me to control, I guess you would say. So I've got Just Jade instead of mint macaron on the table because it was just a little too light. That's going to be the bubble wrap one. And then I've got my purple, and that's going to be with my straw. And then the mint macaron's going to get thrown to the side. And then my Rococo Rose, because my rubber bands are already on there, guess what? And actually, this should go here, so my pink goes with my pink. We got to get coordinated, right? So let's start with the straw. One thing. Make sure. Make sure. First off, you do not want an ink pad. This is only for the stamp. You need to have a re-inker. So I'm dropping a few drops all in one puddle. If you want the ink to be lighter, feel free. Add some water to it. So I'm just grabbing a straw, putting my finger at the end to create an air vacuum. So I pick up some ink, and then I am literally stamping with a straw. Can you believe it? And then to get it so it spreads out, I just put my finger in that. Using the straw for what it is, right? Okay. So that is one way to do it. I'm putting stuff to the side. This is, like I said, not my favorite one. So I'm just going to show you the techniques and then we will get things rolling. So the next one we're going to do is my rubber band trick. So I've got my Rococo Rose. The paper is petal pink, and I've got my rubber banded block, and I'm just gonna stamp it in here just like we would normally do, right? And we're just going to stamp and create a background with our rubber bands. Kind of cool, right? So there's another one for you. And then last but not least is the bubble wrap one. Now this one is my favorite one, and I'm not sure why, but I can say that it is. So I've got my mint macaron paper. I've got my Just Jade because I wanted a shade darker. And here's what we do. We grab our bubble wrap. You're going to want to have the texture side up because obviously it's just flat on the other side, right? So that's not going to help you much. And we're just going to put ink all over. This can also work with really big words, but obviously if your words are not very big, you're not going to get a lot of texture, right? And then I'm going to drop that on there. And I'm going to smush. Smush, smush, smush. And then hopefully, if I'm lucky, I will have a really cool background. Kind of neat, right? So before you close this up, see how the bubble wrap got all over my ink pad? You will want to grab a chamois, a wipe, whatever. This is just a microfiber cloth, and I'm just going to run it and get the excess ink off before I close it and before my fingers get into it more. Because that happens. But first we're going to stamp our words. Okay, so I'm going to grab my You Are Amazing. And I'm going to grab actually a sheet that doesn't have any pop-outs on it, cutouts on it. And I'm just going to... Now, if you have photopolymer stamps, which is what I have right now, if you do not get a crisp image like I did, make sure to get either a magazine or the piercing mat and put it underneath your scrap mat. And here's why I say that, especially if you're using your piercing mat. There is no way to get ink out of it, okay? So what you want to do is put it somewhere that you will not get ink on it. Because if you get ink on it the next time, it'll still have ink on it, okay? So we're gonna grab that. And I'm going to use the scalloped one because it fits the words better. But if I wanted to use the other, I just have to trim that bottom to get it to come up. Okay. And I've got my "You Are Amazing" ready to go. I'm going to grab one of my gray granite with my white card base. And that's just about out, so good timing. Grab it here. And my gosh, everything's running out, isn't it? So my dimensionals are about out as well. Don't throw them away. You can use the borders, right? So you're just gonna snip and you're gonna snip. This is why you get Goo Gone. You're gonna put your border there and you're gonna take your border off and what do you think? There you go. Kind of cool, right? So alrighty, so let's see what else. Well, nothing. No, I'm just teasing you. I'm done. I'm going to dinner. No, if we could only eat inside. No, we're going to get going on this, but my stamp and seal was about to run out, so I'm going to get a refill. Hold on. Alrighty, so for this guy, I already have the pieces cut out, but, and of course, the candy, right? Hopefully it'll all go into the overalls. Yeah, I don't know. So, let's see here. Let's move this around. All right, so I have pieces and parts already cut out. So you will need, if you're going to do this, or if you're going to place an order, you'll get everything already cut out. But if you're going to do this, you will get, oh, hold on. Okay. So this is from the All Dressed Up dies, okay? This is, there's two cutouts out of Shaded Spruce, and this becomes your overalls. Then in that same die set, I take Shaded Spruce and I've cut 2 strips. Now these are supposed to be purse handles. This was designed to be a purse thing, but tonight is going to be overalls. So, and then I've done a 3rd strip, but this is Mossy Meadow instead, to give a little bit of differentiation between the belt and the rest of the overalls. I've got 1 gold gilded gem. All right, let me finish my Mossy Meadow pieces. In that same All Dressed Up dies, we've got buttons. So those are going to come in handy, right? Okay. And then to finish off, we've got little buckles. These are cut out of the gold foil. And then we've got 4 little hearts, which are going to become our 4-leaf clover. I saw you make this, Cheryl, and I was like, oh, I already had it completely done. And I'm like, should I not? Nah. I actually did see it. So, too funny. Great minds think alike, huh? So, we're going to get to going on this. So, all you do is you fold your score lines, fold your score line, fold your score line, and you're like, and fold your score line. But wait, there's this goofy Y thing, right? So the goofy Y thing, the straighter part of it, gets bent opposite because this is your gusset. And then to do the Y, you just kind of take your thumbnail and you kind of bend across it. Okay? If you want to be exact, you can be exact, but honestly, my sides get squished in anyways, so it's okay. Okay? And then I'm going to grab my other side and I'm going to do the same. Fold, fold, fold. These are your tabs here where your glue goes. This is going to go opposite. This is going to get pushed in as well. And then, you know, as you're working your gusset, after it glues together, that'll come together. You'll be fine. Okay? So, to give you a dry run on this, okay? This guy goes like this. This guy, the little tab, I usually glue here first so it doesn't stick out on both of these. And we will see how this goes. All right. So I'm going to grab a little bit of Stampin' Seal. If you're more comfortable with tear tape, tear and tape, you can do that. Not a problem. I did realize that some of my edge came over on my glue. You'll want to roll that back. You don't want stickies in the bottom of your bag. Okay. And then we're going to do the same to this one, right? Okay. This way? Yes. All right. Come on. All right. So now we're going to grab here and we're going to stick this down. All right. So now I have my two halves, for lack of better terms, and these are going to go like this. These tabs are going to go in here. See, it comes together fairly quickly. Yes? Okay. So I am grabbing my Stampin' Seal and we're going to put 2 down because I want it to go on there really, really, really well. Okay. And we are going to line this guy up as best we can. Basically butt them together so your tabs go together. No, I don't have glue on my tabs, but I know where this is supposed to go, which translates to glue it down, right? Okay. Now I'm going to grab my tab. And let's see. I had a box last time that I did this edge on. Let's see if I can get this. Ah, no, it was the paper pumpkin box. Hold on. Let me reach. I'm like, what did I use? Now, there's easier ways to do this, but, you know, my brain, it doesn't always happen easy. So you got to improvise, right? So there's my box. There's my edge so I can put my glue down. Cheryl, I don't know if you ever get into this when you're making 3D stuff and you're like, oh, I was supposed to do that first. Yeah, this happens to me all the time, so I just got to figure out what edge and what I have to do. So there's this guy. And then I've got one more edge that I'm going to glue. Try to not get over that score line. Roll this back if necessary. And we're just going to tuck this in, not get my thumb in it. We'll see how that goes, huh? And I went over the score line a little bit. See if I could roll that back with my thumb before it glues. If not, grab some cornstarch and shake that on, baby powder, you know, just to take the stickies out if need be. Okay, so there's my overalls. Then I'm gonna grab my glue dots because these are gonna be my best friends in about 2 seconds. So I'm grabbing one of my buckles here. And I'm just threading this through. Yes, it was designed that way. Awesome. And I'm gonna grab my snips, my infamous snips, and I'm just gonna put a glue dot over that because I don't want it to slide. And I'm gonna put a couple more glue dots not all the way to the edge, and here's why. Because I know I'm going to have to cut this because my thing is longer than, my belt is longer than my container. Now, if you do not want to cut, you can wrap it around. Okay? But honestly, I'm cutting it. But it's up to you on what you do and how you destroy your stuff. But I want my edges to be there. So there's my extra belts. Don't we wish losing weight was that simple? Just cut it off, right? Just kidding. All right, so I'm gonna grab my glue dots and I'm just going to get my edges nailed down so I don't have anything curling up. I guess that was close enough. And we are going to get our other buckles. Are we ready? Yes, I hope so. Yeah? So I'm just gonna string it through the middle here. You don't want to bend it too much because the foil does crease, okay? And we're going to stick another glue dot on the back. Just remember though, it's not the same as the other one was, so you're only going to do one side, okay? Then I'm going to grab 2 more, and I'm going to get that other side so it doesn't swivel on me. But I want to make sure that my little overalls strap stays put, okay? So we're gonna push that down. If you need it straighter, go for it. Up to you on how crooked you want things to be, right? So I'm grabbing my glue dots and I am sticking this over. I always do 2 because if you only do 1, it tends to swivel on you. Pivot, however you want to say that. And then just leave your finger there for half a second, okay? Because that will allow the glue to warm up a tiny bit and you will not have the same problems with it popping off, okay? So if you want it to be even, which, you know, overalls kind of should be, right? Okay. So we grab here. Yeah, you can measure, but do I? No. Grabbing my glue dots, going over where my buckle meets my strap. Okay. And I'm putting one down here at the end also so I don't get any swiveling. And I want that buckle to go, or that strap, however you want to say it, right down there. Flip that over. Now you can make this as complicated as you want. You can order gold coins. Liquid glue works great, yes, except I tend to get very sticky because I get my fingers in it, as you can see, and then everything is sticky and fingerprints, especially when I'm doing a live. It tends to not work so well. So there's my, so far it's coming, right? So now I've got my glue dots. Make sure if you are doing your buttons that you pay attention to what side has the little raised part. There is a front and a back to it, so you'll want to pay attention to that. And we're gonna grab one more glue dot, throw it down on there, and just stick, 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 okay? And now the fun part, the 4-leaf clover. So I am grabbing my little hearts and I'm gonna stick these on my roll so I know where they are, because these little pieces, I don't know how many times I have vacuumed them up and not been able to find them. So I'm gonna start at the bottom And I'm just going to figure out where I want it. Stick my hand underneath to squish. You want to make sure not to push because then you will collapse your project. So make sure to have a hand underneath there and just line up those hearts. Okay? And if you don't get it completely perfect, hey, guess what? Not a problem. That's what our middle little gold gem, gilded gem is for, is to cover up those goofs. So, see how mine's not lined up? It'll be just fine though. Alrighty, almost. Okay, so there is our bonus project. So if you comment on here, you will get written instructions for all 3 cards as well as the bonus. Oh wait, I have to put a bunch of these in there, huh? Okay, about 7 fits easily. But, so if you comment on here, you will get emailed all the instructions, and if you do a $50 order, I will cut the materials for you and send them along with your order. So thank you so much for joining me. Make sure to follow me, stampingwithjohnny.com, and have a great evening. Thanks again. Bye-bye.